There's a couple of trends that crash into Idlib. Historically, first and foremost, the United States, we have wanted to support the Kurds in the last several years in Syria writ large, and that has created major tension with Turkey across the board. We have not been able to see eye to eye with Turkey. Secondarily, the human rights agenda overall for this administration is very poor. The president does not make it a core pillar of his communications overseas, never talks about it, engages directly with many leaders who are authoritarian in their countries, be it in the Philippines or Hungary and General Sisi and you name it, he has been not including that. So with Idlib and the context of Syria essentially being recognized by the administration as the power and Assad as the power, letting it go, letting Russia and Assad do what they need to do, and related to Turkey, I think that we're in a situation where we don't have a clarity as well with Turkey in terms of what the objective is. But focusing on Idlib and the humanitarian crisis there is one that the U.S. is not weighing in on at all, and acquiescing to whatever Russia and Assad believe needs to be done. And that's the current state of play. It sounds very dark, but it appears that the Trump administration does not see any value in getting involved in reducing the crisis there. Egypt is a critical long-term American ally and has been for decades. And we have been providing military hardware to Egypt for 30 plus years, post the Camp David Accords. They're next to Israel, which is a strategic ally. So, we've probably spent $80 to $100 billion in Egypt, providing them economic and military assistance. So there's that historic commitment that while Sisi has jumped in the middle and created human rights violations and problems, the historic commitment to Egypt is much bigger than just Sisi. It's different from Sudan, where that relationship is not of the same depth. And so to normalize Sisi is much easier for President Trump than it would be to normalize the Sudanese leaders. And I think that's the dynamic. And so don't expect the Sudanese leaders to get a benefit out of this from the United States, but also I don't think we should expect the U.S. to really come down any harder on them. It's hard to imagine. Maybe, depends on congressional pressure, but odds are with these kinds of dynamics, it takes a different president to come in and to mobilize. And the only angle where the U.S. will get more aggressively involved is if there's a detection of terrorist organization development as a result of the Sudan.